The register blinked red, the sound sharp as a gavel. A handful of coins clatter on the counter. Jonah's last dollar folded on top like a flag of surrender. Wren's fussing rose behind him. The soft cry of a child who could not know hunger, only feel the tremors of it through her father's hands. Jonah lowered his gaze, bracing for the shame of the moment. And then, from just behind him, a voice, low, steady, unyielding, broke the silence. "I'll take them all." For a heartbeat, Jonah thought he had misheard. The words didn't match the hum of the store, the fluorescent light, the thin receipt curling from a register. They belonged to some other world, some other man's life. But when he turned, he saw her, a woman with composure like frost on glass, her hand poised on a counter, her eyes not on him, but on Wren. The clerk froze and softened. The register accepted her card. The receipt unfurled like a promise. Earlier that morning, Jonah had sat at the kitchen table with a jar labeled in black marker, Wren. The glass was cloudy, coins stacked like fragile scaffolding inside. Each one clicked as he counted. His thumb brushed a folded letter tucked beneath the jar, words he hadn't had the courage to reread. On the chair beside him, the music box sat closed, its tin lid dull with age. He didn't wind it. Not yet. Instead, he kissed the frayed edge of the baby blanket embroidered with moths, a gift from Wren's mother before the sickness hollowed her out, and whispered to his daughter sleeping nearby, "Just diapers today. That's enough." He folded the grocery list into his jacket pocket, like it might hold the whole world together. The grocery store hummed with ordinary life. Families filled carts with boxes. Children tugged at sleeves. A teenager lingered by the self-checkout with headphones heavy over his ears. Jonah moved down the aisles like a man measuring each breath. He put back coffee. He left cereal on the shelf. But when he passed the baby aisle, he gripped the pack of diapers as though it were a rope pulling him out of water. Wren reached for a bright box of crackers, her tiny hand opening and closing in the air. Jonah chuckled, a sound that caught his throat, and shook his head gently. "Not today, bird." At the end of the aisle, the clerk, Mrs. Calder, noticed. She always noticed. She watched the way his shoulders carried more weight than his cart. She said nothing. Not yet. She wasn't the only one who noticed. A woman in a dark tailor coat passed by with measured steps. A phone pressed her ear. Her words were clipped careful. "Yes," approved the decision. "No, I'll handle the boar myself." But her eyes, for a fleeting second, drifted toward the shelves of formula. She reached out, paused, and pulled her hand back. Her name was Alohanheart. She did not yet know why her feet had carried her to that aisle, or why the ache in her chest had grown heavier since she arrived. At the register, Jonah's card declined. The sound was merciless. He offered his last dollar, coins trembling in his palm. Wren's cries grew sharper, drawing stares from strangers. Jonah tried to smile, to mask the fracture, but his jaw locked. Mrs. Calder took the coins gently, her tone brisk but kind. "Paper or digital receipt, Jonah?" She asked it like nothing unusual had happened, like mercy itself could disguise itself as routine. That's when Alohan spoke. "I'll take them all." The words fell into the air, unadorned, without flourish. Not pity, not spectacle. Only a choice as quiet as snow. She added wipes, formula, rash cream. She asked the clerk to keep the same brand Jonah had picked. A small respect that lodged in his chest. Jonah shook his head, voice raw. "I can't let you." "You aren't letting me," she answered. "I'm choosing." Her tone had no sharpness, only certainty. Marco, the young stock boy bagging nearby, slipped a small pack of pacifiers into bag, his eyes darting to Jonah in silent conspiracy. Mrs. Calder printed 2 receipts, pressing one into Jonah's hand. He folded it carefully like scripture. Outside, the night air was brittle with sleet. Jonah stood under a parking lot lamp, Wren pressed against his chest. Her cries softened as he finally wound the old music box once. A single note tumbled into the cold air, fragile but whole. From the shadows, Eloan appeared, her coat collar drawn up, her hair dotted with ice. She stopped a few paces away. "She likes the sound?" she asked softly. Jonah hesitated, then nodded. Her mother, it helped her sleep. After chemo, his voice thinned. The words hung between them like a fragile bridge. Eloan's expression shifted, softened. "My father kept a ledger," she said. "He told me numbers are really names." Every line was someone he remembered. She looked at the receipt Jonah still held folded in his hand. "Keep it." He did. They returned inside, drawn by something unnamed. Eloan needed tea. Jonah had forgotten to breathe. Mrs. Calder pressed an envelope across the counter toward Jonah. "For Wren," she murmured. Inside was a coupon for formula and a note in careful script. "You are seen." Eloan chose a plain box of tea. Jonah added a lemon. It was nothing, and it was everything. At the door, Jonah tried to repay her. "I fix things. Hinges, gears. If you ever need." Her eyes flickered. "I have a music box." The pins bent. His smile was small, unsteady. "Then I'll come." They exchanged names at last. Jonah, Eloan. Speaking them felt like unlocking a door they'd both been waiting in front for years. Wren cooed, her tiny fingers catching Eloan's silver ring. Eloan repeated the baby's name, her voice almost reverent. "Wren." Her apartment was a museum of restraint, minimal, curated, quiet. But in one corner sat a music box with a hairline crack. Jonah's rough hands moved with reverence, straightening the pin, brushing dust from the gears. As the mechanism clicked back into place, Eloan set 2 mugs of tea on the table. Jonah pulled a folded letter from his pocket, glanced at it, and set it beside the box without opening it. "Thank you," he whispered. They sat in silence, their breaths weaving a small weather system between them. When he rose to leave, Eloan's voice held him. "Come back tomorrow? I make terrible soup. You can judge me." For the first time in months, Jonah laughed. Not forced, not bitter. "Oh, tomorrow." At the door, they almost kissed. They didn't. Their hands brushed. Wren's fingers closed over Eloan's ring again, and that was enough. "Good night, Jonah." "Good night, Eloan." Back home, Jonah slid the receipt into the music box, alongside the folded letter. He wound it twice and set it on the dresser near Wren's crib. The melody rose, tender and imperfect. The moth-embroidered blanket, lifted with Wren's breathing. Jonah sent one text. "Numbers are really names." Her reply came with a heart, then one word. "Tomorrow." Jonah turned off the lamp, but the room kept its glow. Some nights, a receipt becomes scripture. A music box becomes a home. And strangers choose each other with the smallest, bravest word. Tomorrow. If this quiet kindness touched you, stay with us. Subscribe, share, and keep a little light for the next story. We'll be here, remembering the names that once were only numbers.